Hey, what's going on? What's going on? This is the Deep State Afternoon Report. All right, this is the Daily Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Marcus. How are you doing this lovely Wednesday afternoon? We are in the building. All right, now we're gonna get on a couple subjects today. Got some news articles I want to go over that stuck out to me. Something that's need to be discussed. A lot of crazy stuff going on, right? We got Biden stepping down. A lot of people saying that that man's dead. I don't actually believe that that man has passed away. I do believe that there is something going on right now. Now, with that said, Kamala. Kamala's been the big talk in the news radio, news, mainstream media, and everything involved, right? So for her right now, her campaign has essentially already raised $80 million, and she's gotten plenty of endorsements from everybody. We're talking Schumer, we're talking Pelosi, Biden, we're talking all the big hitters right now. Pretty much jumped onto the Kamala Harris train. All right, now there's a lot of speculation that says that she's not going to make it. They're just raising money for the next candidate. I can't really say how true that is. I do say with the deep state, they like to pull those switcheroos sometimes and bring one person in, raise the money, and then move the other person out. Just how it goes. So as we go through these motions, we'll understand more what's to deal with and what's to come. Now, I got a whole lot of articles to go over, so let's get through this. Not a whole lot, but we got some good articles. All right. All right. Let's switch that over. All right. Here we are with the Secret Service director grilled over the Trump rally shooting. Okay. Now, Sheetal has resigned already, so it's already over. She's done. She's out. Like, no need to worry about her. She's out. She botched that whole situation. You could say it's part of the whole charade, but to be entirely honest, my opinion is they all figured that she faked it so poorly that they had to put her out. Oh man, so let's go through this. All right, members of the House Oversight Committee castigated U.S. Secret Service Director Kimberly Sheetal Monday over her agency failure to prevent the assassinated attempt of former President Trump. Why it matters. Sheila is facing mounting bipartisan call to resign and intense scrutiny amid a flurry of probes into the shooting earlier this month that wounded the Republican presidential nominee, left one dead and two others seriously injured. She's already out. You guys don't even have to worry about that. We're just covering this. Now, they grilled her. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch a whole lot, but they did grill her. She did resign. It was an easy call to get her out the way. Just move out, move on, get this over with. It was pretty bad as far as the show and the spectacle that it was, right? So always remember someone has to answer for the buffoonery. All right. Now, what does the Secret Service go? Now, we have people here in America right now, we know that are visiting. Bibby's here. We're going to get on him a little bit later about why he's here, what's going on. Got some content to go over with that too. All right. Now, Secret Service director failed in protecting President Trump, which I've always been a staunch person to say that little grouping that you call Secret Service, that was not Secret Service. That lady, the fat chunky lady with the glasses on, the one who couldn't holster her gun properly, her. I still think it's deep state actors. I'm just gonna be honest. Like there's no way you cleared that woman to be part of the Secret Service. It's just not possible. So Sheetal's answered for her crimes. She's been moved. She's ousted, as we all say it. But something to think about. Comer and Raskin issued a later calling of Cheadle's resignation shortly after the hearing ended. In the letter, the two congressmen said Cheadle should resign to allow new leadership to swiftly address this crisis and rebuild the trust of a truly concerned Congress and the American people. We're truly concerned for a couple reasons. One, the fact that this gentleman climbed up on a building with actual law enforcement officers in there has to be the biggest failure in security possible. Now, The fact that he still popped off 3 shots with Secret Service looking at him, on top of several crowd goers screaming, "He's on the building! He's on the building!" Trump turned around for a quick selfie. You can see in the video he turns, looks, pow, pow, shots, right? Okay, complete failure in security. All right, zoom in. Republicans press Sheetal over U.S. intelligence of an Iranian threat to Trump, to which she says she believed that the security plan was sufficient to protect Trump for that. This is the same person who allegedly got the man's ear nicked. All right. They say he was hit. I'm not saying he was hit. I'm just saying what they showed us, that's what happened. Now, we have Ray from the FBI being pressed today in Senate, and I want to bring this up, right? So, what they're not going to too much talk about is the software used to track and crack this gentleman's phone. All right. Now, I have the Times of Israel on here for a reason. Don't get weird. All right. FBI cracked Trump shooter's phone with tech from Israel, Celebrite reported. Software enabled agents on the phone in 40 minutes, but didn't yield incriminating information. Motive of slain shooter, son of normal, loving, pro-Trump parents, still unclear. Now, this is Thomas Matthew Crooks. This is the gentleman that took the shot. Okay? Now, FBI and Israeli government are neck and neck software. Typically, tracking this gentleman's movements before the incident happened, and you can see clearly a path to Virginia, DC, and he comes back to Pennsylvania. Why this 20-year-old is in DC? Why is 20-year-old a black rock commercials also can't explain. You can just say that the deep state tried and the deep state failed, and the deep state's pretty obvious as to what they're doing. Investigators use bright tech on Matthew Crooks, 20, of Bethel, and who opened fire at a Trump rally in by the way on Saturday. Crooks used all right, legally purchased by his father 11 years prior, killed one person. One of his bullets grazed the Republican candidate's right ear. The U.S. Secret Service was cracked to help determine his motive, which investigators are considering the possibility that Crooks used 2 phones after discovering a phone with a dead battery at his home in Bethel Park, where he lived. Now, information's vague. They don't know, of course. What do you expect, right? So, this gentleman has the phone with 40 minutes using the technology. All right. They're not going to tell on themselves. The phone went to CIA, then Quantico. You know, like the laptop's gone, just like the Epstein list was gone. Ray has a lot of explaining to do that he's doing right now from earlier before we get into it. Now, this gentleman is proving how strong one person could be if they put their mind to something. And I don't like when they do this, right? they do it in a way that seems very provoking. This gentleman also flew a drone over the rally site the day of the shooting to kind of get a good look. And if you have a drone in your home, you already know how drones work, right? Little handheld device, drones about this big, this wide, you know what I'm saying, just depending on your make and model. You attach it to your phone and you can control it and you can view the camera through your phone with a viable internet source. All right. Sometimes it doesn't even take all that, but that's pretty much the basis of a drone. So this gentleman here, which makes no sense to me because before the rally started, I would think there'd be optimal surveillance around the whole area. Okay, but it's not. So let's indulge the buffoonery. All right. So he's flying a drone. He's looking around. He scoped out this place. This gentleman has not been made in a couple days. Now I know for a fact that the Secret Service does its sweeps. Like they're there months in advance. And once the show gets quick, once the show gets there, like up on its path, couple days out, there's optimal surveillance going on in that area. So riddle me how this 20-year-old tactical genius managed to outsmart our Secret Service. All right. So, all right. We found the drone in his car. The working theory investigators are exploring is that the drone would have given crooks an overview of the rooftops of nearby buildings on how they connect, according to law enforcement officials. That could have helped him choose a spot where he fired the shot toward the podium where Trump was standing. New evidence shared by multiple law enforcement officials also reveals that a ladder purchased by Crooks several hours before he opened fire in a backpack believed to have belonged to him have been located or in possession of federal authorities. You ain't never seen that evidence again. I'm just gonna let you know that now. All right. The man driving near the shooter's home discovered the ladder and backpack on the side of the road, according to law enforcement sources from two separate agencies. The person reportedly saw the ladder in the location for several days before deciding to alert authorities. Discoveries of the ladder, backpack, and drone come as investigators are struggling to find a motive for Crook's assault. As more details are released about the failed assassination attempt, the U.S. Secret Service has faced questions and criticism and is scrambling to increase security ahead of the first campaign rally with both Trump and Republican Vice President nominee Senator J.D. Vance on Saturday. All right. If I'm Trump and if this is a real thing, I'm personally hiring contracted people. That's just me because the Secret Service obviously dropped the ball in the worst possible way. And there's been some blunders in the Secret Service, but we've known them to fix that up and tidy it pretty quickly. Right now, this has hit the fan and it's pretty bad. All right. Now, we're going to move away from this. I got a video of Ray. And they asked Ray a really good question that I just mentioned about Epstein. All right.
All right. Listen, that was a really good question. And I'm gonna tell you why that's a really good question. Okay, because like I said before, they're not gonna tell on themselves. That's just something they're not gonna do. You're not gonna get that. It's gonna be real rare that they tell on themselves. Now, the $1 million question is who's all on that list? And we already know there's a couple names that's on that list. We got Clintons, we got Obamas, we got Carters, we got all celebrities and kind of politicians on there. While it's all speculation, there it remains to be seen that we understand how the deep state's moving, and the deep state likes influencers like politicians and rappers and actors and grassroots kind of people. They need influence. So when we hear about incidents of the Epstein case and people being on that list, it is safely assumed that they know, and again, they're not going to tell on themselves. All right, that's just not how that's going to happen. No one's telling on themselves. Okay, accept it. This is how the deep state operates. They operate one and the same. They work together. This is how it's going to work. Just it is what it is. All right, we're gonna move on back now. Where did my Firefox go? There we go. All right, now next report that I'm gonna get into. I do want to say that police brutality has no place. Okay. Too many times do we see these videos of people calling these officers to help them or investigate something, and too many times, white, black, blue, or brown, they're getting shot. And disproportionately, it seems like it's happening a lot towards black people. Now, that's just truth. It is what it is. This isn't no fear mongering. This isn't anything like that. Now, this Sonia Massey case, the lady out of Illinois, makes no attempt to sense. All right. Sonia called police to report suspect prowler outside her home, but tensions escalated when she approached her stove to tend to a pot of boiling water. All right. You guys are probably wondering how does this work with the deep state? This isn't deep state. This is just what we're dealing with with incompetent people running our agencies. And I'm gonna be honest, they're shooting everybody. If you let the mainstream media tell you it's disproportionately black people, and sure, yes, it is. But truth of the matter is they're shooting white, they're shooting Asian, they're shooting Mexican. Only the media is making fun of it. Only the media shows you one side of it. That's the problem with mainstream media. So this lady called the police to deal with a prowler, and when the police came in, her biggest mistake is probably letting them in her house, but she let them in. And while she was in there, she went to tend to a pot. Some conversation was had, and apparently, when she reached for the pot, the cops got uncomfortable because she told you, and they was like, "Well, if you rebuke me, you're gonna throw a pot of water." Is their logic? Remember, this isn't the same group of cops, but remember, we had a cop, I think, in Florida, end up shooting his own car up because an acorn hit it, and he screamed, "Shots fired." So you can see the unstable thought process of a lot of our local law enforcement. All right. So I do have the video. I don't really want to show it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It's pretty brutal. It just proves that it takes more than 6 months to be a cop. It has to take more than 6 months, because 6 months ain't there. All right. I'm gonna play it just because I want to show you how one-sided this is. And at least they had their body cams on, right? We can thank them for doing that, right? But I want to do say viewer discretion is advised. This is the actual body cam footage. If you haven't already seen it, here it is.
And you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You have that sack right now? I'll need a fire while we're here.
Right. Hey,
All right.
where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Wait for your steaming water. You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot!
Team shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the fucking pot! Bring EMS now. We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to the female. 1078. Fuck.
I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit.
Now, headshot, bitch. You're done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. God damn it.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm not taking fucking boiling water in the fucking head. Hey, look, it fucking came right to our feet, too. God damn it.
God damn it.
You good?
I'm good. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Hold it. Let her fucking just.
God.
What does that do, man?
Fuck.
You good? Okay. Fuck. Well, I mean, you know, what else do we do? I'm not taking hot boiling water to the fucking face, and it already reached us.
They got a 52 en route.
Yeah, 1078. She's still breathing, but she's losing a lot of blood from the head. I'll go get my med kit.
Go get, yeah, hurry, get your med kit.
I mean, there's not much we can do.
We're gonna at least try and hold up, stop blood.
All right, we're back. So I just looked down in my phone to see how the stream's going. It looks absolutely horrible, guys. I do apologize for that. Hope you guys can hear me pretty well. But nonetheless, that is exactly what transpired. Complete lack of resolve. Horrible, horrible, horrible. All right. So with that said, that young lady lost her life. The gentleman who fired the shot has been fired, and he's under investigation, and I think they got him on first-degree murder. So that's where we're at right now. Hold on, guys. That's what. All right, sorry guys. Checking the stream, just making sure it looks good. All right, it looks better. I don't know if it's the transition, but sorry about that. All right. Now, Sonia Massey is gone. She was a mother. She was a sister. She was someone's parent, people. And I don't ever want to create some type of divide with this conversation. This isn't that. All right. This whole idea is just sickening to see how our law enforcement are handling its own citizens, whether it's a mental health crisis or it's just coming in and helping someone with a burglary call. Too many times they're failing. Too many times someone's dying when you're supposed to be asking for help. It's an obvious issue, and it's an obvious issue that needs to be fixed. All right. Now, does he get charged? We'll see. I don't want to compare it to anything of the past with riots and events, but if justice isn't served, you could see a lot of events transpire. You could see a whole lot of protesting transpire. And we already know that the deep state likes to co-opt these kind of movements off people's lives and people's mistakes and push their own narrative. I know that's cold to say, but it's very true. All right. So always remember that the deep state is not working for us, regardless of who you think it is. There's many tentacles and arms involved and at play. And when we talk about these little news reports we're finding, they get stranger and stranger. All right. I do want to say that rest Sonia Massey's soul, and I hope that cop gets what he deserves. All right. You got to do better at your job. If you're that terrified and you can't de-escalate a situation, then you need to find a new job. Maybe you need to go be a mall cop. Maybe you need to go, get some balloon animals and become a clown or something, because, we're having too many incidents like this. All right. Moving on. IMPOMag.com. All right. Look at this. Raytheon's high energy laser system fired from military vehicle for first time. Oh, looky. We have dues here. We have dues. All right. You don't want to know what a DEW is? A DEW is a direct energy weapon. All right. Raytheon and other MIC people are big proponents in creating these weapons. We have also understood that within our conversations in our groups, we talked about the Lahaina situation and how a DEW was used in that situation. DEWs are a thing. DEWs are real. All right. They're lasers. Just simple term. If you took a magnifying glass, put it to the sun, and pointed it at the ground, it's still a direct energy weapon. Very basic direct energy weapon, but you're directing energy and using it as a weapon. Direct energy weapon. Real simple. Raytheon UK Defense Science and Technology Laboratory and Defense Equipment and Support have successfully tested Raytheon's high-energy laser weapon system, integrated onto a British Army combat vehicle, the first test of its kind in the UK. All right. I highly doubt you're ever going to see reports like this in America. The groundbreaking test conducted at DSTL's range in Porton Down saw the laser weapon fired at full power whilst integrated onto a British Army Wolfhound armored vehicle. The lightweight portable Hales is the first laser weapon integrated on a land vehicle to be fired in the UK. All right, Deep State's getting new toys in new countries, guys. The milestone marks a major leap forward in the UK Ministry of Defense land laser direct energy weapon, land DEWs. The increasing prevalence, proliferation, and evolution of drone warfare makes the rapid adoption of counter-UAS technology even more important. The variant of the Hells has been designed to defeat NATO Class 1 drones whilst being easily compatible within existing air defense systems, including radar, command, and control, and other platforms. All right. So, toys are getting better. They're picking up. Why? Because the conflicts are picking up, and in the event that the people get a little smarter than they need to, it's going to pick up on them. In America, I'm not sure how the UK gets their news. I know in America we get a lot of censorship, and there's a lot of conversations about space lasers, quote unquote, as people have talked about, that have been used in these situations. Okay. So when we look at Lahaina, or we look at the Texas wildfires or the California wildfires, we hear a lot of reports in the back saying DEWs. All right. If you've heard of the almighty DARPA, you would know that DARPA is proponent in new weapons, new systems. It's flowing out of the Pentagon, but they have no real office. Anything that's new, psyops, technology, internet, anything that you can think of that has some type of use, DARPA's already had it, and they've put it out to us for commercial use after they've gotten their fill off of it, all right? This is just how the deep state works, guys. This is just how it works. DARPA's a real entity. This is how they're testing everything. Everything that I'm using at some point has come through DARPA. The camera systems, the software, anything you could think of, your phone, all of that stuff, it's coming through DARPA. Okay. All right. That was just a little technology news for you guys to let you know they're still out there working. Oh, look who we got. We got Bibi. Kamala Harris kicks off her campaign with major snub to Netanyahu. Netanyahu's here, guys. And he's here supposed to be talking to Trump. Harris was supposed to be talking to him while he gives his speech to beg us for more money and help him in the conflict of him getting his ass whooped. But Harris snubbed him to go to, I believe, I want to say Indiana for a sorority convention. She is with the AKAs right now. All right. So what does that say about Harris? Harris is supposedly going to be the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party, and she snubbed Netanyahu. That doesn't really mean a lot. She doesn't have to meet with Netanyahu because she's not necessarily the president. She is the vice president, and as of now, if you believe Biden has COVID, sure. But Biden having COVID would put the vice president in place to sit down with Netanyahu and take notes. All right, she's not there. She's with her sorors living it up. Blinken has something to say about it. So did Netanyahu, but Netanyahu's going to be here regardless. How do we know he's here? Because they're setting up for him right now. All right. Got footage of Bibi walking off the plane. He's here. We got DC setting up for him.
ראש הממשלה, אם תגיד כן לעסקה, לנשיא ביידן. דוד, תודה.
All right. That is Netanyahu. Bibi, as we call him. All right. So Bibi showed up, and Harris showed up in a whole other location.
Way off Marine 2 and working her way toward Indiana University, Bloomington, Indiana. She opted to give us Democratic senators and, by my count, 80 Democratic House members.
And you heard Mark Penn, who is a Democrat and a pollster. He thinks this is a terrible. You have to wonder if Kamala Harris is already thinking about that as well.
Okay.
Chad Bergram.
All right. So she decided to go to Indiana State for Soros, whatever. As commander-in-chief or soon-to-be commander-in-chief, that's something that she's going to have to do. Now, how am I looking at it? As Kamala Harris, I mean, was it a good idea? No, but she did it. She's going to meet with him later behind closed doors, but you guys got to understand what's happening right now. Do you understand why she can't meet with him like out in the open? You understand politically, her husband's Jewish. All right. It can be said that there's a certain allegiance amongst them. You're Jewish, you're always Jewish. That's just how they look at it. They're very close-knit group. They stick together. And if I'm looking at it as an onlooker, do you want to make some type of allegiance? So me personally, maybe this is a power move. Maybe she blew him off. She's going to talk to him later while she's doing her thing with the AKs. Always remember, the Divine Nine, the fraternities and sororities are also part of this deep state conversation. Don't think because she's an AKA that she's not involved in any of this. She's absolutely involved in everything. Understand she dated Montel Jordan back in the day. I ain't gonna say she was a groupie. I'm just saying she dated celebrities. Celebrities date celebrities, apparently. So all I'm saying is she has to tread lightly. I don't think she's gonna be the actual presidential nominee, even though they've already raised something like $80 million right now, right?
News just dropped.
So again, with everything going on, Kamala is the front runner, and Kamala is being put in a public eye to be that front runner. Now, as we're moving through these videos and the content and whatnot, just kind of piecing it all up together, right? I got another one about the speculation because her running mate is another one. I've heard Josh Shapiro, which if she did do Josh Shapiro, I wouldn't recommend it just for the fact that, like I said, the gentleman, I'm not saying Jewish people can't be president. I'm saying that's a sensitive way to go about hiring someone, and it could spark extra debate on the Trump side. You already know he's gonna eat that alive. A Jewish vice president in America wouldn't be the first on record, but remains to be seen. Now, Kamala needs running mates. We've heard everyone from Gavin Newsom to Barack to Michelle to Hillary. We've heard a lot of names coming in. I think they're going to play the gender identity game, just far as any form, race identity, gender identity. They're going to play this narrative because Americans are gullible. Too many times do we jump on the race gender bandwagon to align ourselves to messages, and that's usually the worst way to align yourself to a message, is based on your identity, not knowing you don't even know who you really are, right? All right, so I got some other speculation, some other topics to show you. Just bear with me. We're doing well. Hope the quality's great on your end. I'll get better.
News just dropped that, as expected, at least since Joe Biden has agreed that he is not going to run for office. So this now sets off a mad scramble. The Democrat power brokers, what they want is to replace Kamala Harris with Michelle Obama, but it's not clear that Michelle Obama is willing to do that, but you can never rule that out. If they dump Kamala and do not replace Kamala with a black woman, then this is going to set off a real upheaval in the Democrat Party, particularly if they decide to come up with some white guy like Gavin Newsom or a white woman like Gretchen Whitmer. Because yes, the identity politics are going to play and be important in this. It's setting this up for a mad scramble at the Democrat National Convention. It is clear that Kamala Harris is not going to give up easily and that she wants to be anointed as a successor. It remains to be seen what Joe Biden will do in the coming days. So stay tuned. American politics has entered a great new period of chaos.
All right. Just political opinion, right? Not saying it's guaranteed, not saying it's going to happen. Just saying there's not many people that's going to beat Trump. All right. You can't pull just anybody in right now and think that they're going to win. It's just not possible. It's not feasible. I don't even see it happening just because I feel like they want Trump to win. I personally think that man has the influence to take it home. Now, this does not say that there's two sides that play, good and bad or good and evil. I believe there's someone working in the favor of the people. I just won't call them white hats. I don't really know who the fuck it is. To be honest with you. All right. With all that said, Bibi is here. Bibi wants someone to talk to him, and he wants someone to talk to him now. Now, what they're talking about, I can only assume has to do with the fact that Biden held the weapons in a stockpile from him because Bibi says it out loud. All right, I got that clip too already. All right, Bibi states that their weapons and their aid was all being held from him. All right, this is on top of Biden resigning. So I can assume that this was a political play because he, quote unquote, was holding their weapons. Ukraine's a mess. That shit's all but over, but they're just holding on and laundering as much money as they can out of us right now. It's just my opinion, neither fact, whatever you want to believe. Nonetheless, they are laundering money from us. The deep state's working overtime right now. And let's not forget CrowdStrike just happened. CrowdStrike happened before Biden announced he was going to leave, all right? There's something going on with the deep state. I don't care how you view this. You can say it as the shadow government. You could call it whatever you want. What I'm telling you right now is it's happening, whatever it is, right? Let's see where we at. Tricky one. Netanyahu being with Trump during U.S. visit. So Netanyahu, he's for whoever wins, because all these people have gone to Israel and to the wall and done their little prayer and sacrament and ritual and kissed the wall and made out with the wall. So all these people are already included in all of this. Believe it or not, you can go on Google right now, Firefox, Brave, Mojit, type in political powers, go to Israel, Abbott, anybody you can think of, Gavin Newsom, they're all in there touching the wall. Instead of touching grass, they're touching the wall. And me personally, this is why I keep mentioning Kamala got to be careful, because you know how that looks in the public eye when you already got some allegiance to the Jewish faith or whatever it's called. Kabbalah, Talmud, whatever. Right? Prime Minister Bibi has requested an in-person meeting with former President Donald Trump while in the U.S. this week, according to two people familiar with the outreach. Bibi is coming to Washington this week to meet with President Joe Biden, Harris, and lawmakers on Capitol Hill. He is also slated to give a speech in front of Congress Wednesday. I can cover that. I'm probably going to cover that. Netanyahu and Trump's team have in recent days discussed the possibility of two leaders meeting face-to-face, potentially in Florida. Trump has yet to agree to a meeting, but also has not outright rejected the idea. One of the people said if the meeting does take place, it will likely be later in the week following Trump rally in North Carolina on Thursday. Also will be covering that. The Trump campaign and the Israeli embassy in Washington did not respond to the request or for comment. All right, now, this is on the heels of the ICJ ruling that the West Bank is illegally occupied. The ICJ has ruled this. Let me switch screens and make sure I can find it. The ICJ ruled like last week. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. It says ICJ firmly came down against Israel in the opinion issued on Friday, calling the occupation unlawful and declaring that building settlements in the occupied West Bank and occupied East Jerusalem was unlawful. It rejected any argument that Israel has sovereignty over the territories despite its claims. This is Al Jazeera. All right, here we go. Right here. A wall in between the ICJ and the political leaders happening, and vice versa. If America goes, Israel goes. So right now, America really is trying to put a little wall in between themselves and Israel because of the genocide that is going on out there. You believe what you want. I understand that there was an invasion, but invasions happen. But I'm telling you, while we know there are no rules in the war, there's a slanted opposition going on right now to where they're gunning more women and children down than anything and losing the war to actual Hamas. The fact that they're trying to ethnically cleanse these people and push them into Egypt should tell you everything you need to know. Okay? So Bibi's here. I got a video of them prepping, I think it's DC last night. Let me see if I can pull that up for you guys. I just got it in. Here we are. Oh, hear that rain. All right, and we appreciate your efforts. All right. Sin pushed and told they gotta go. Now, are they gonna listen to it? There remains to be seen. Palestinians was cited with the court's opinion, with Palestinian Foreign Minister Raed Malki calling it a watershed on Palestine. As expected, Israel has rejected the decision, calling it false. Calling the kettle black. Understand that Israel is the only place where the people in Israel are not from, because Israel's a corporation. You guys understand the Balfour Declaration? They handed over parts of Israel through the UK to Jewish people after World War II. All right. So since then, in the last 80 years, they've done nothing but colonize the region. And what we see today is the Gaza Strip, where you had over 1 million people living in roughly what we would think of as Central Park. Lack of food, lack of water, lack of resources, third world existence, basically an outside prison or in-state prison. They're fenced off, people. They're fenced off. We're not far from this in our own country. Let me pull my face over real quick. We are not far from this in this country. As we would like to understand FEMA camps, we would understand we could easily be prisoners in our own country right now, and there's nothing anyone could do about it other than get up and fight. So let's never be deceived and act like FEMA camps aren't a thing. All right. The deep state has this set up. This is a real situation. While we looking at Gaza and other little factions around the world going through their own ethnic cleansing, we're sitting here in our own country while we got another migrant caravan on its way of 3,000 people. And the borders are just so happen to be Kamala Harris. You see where I'm going with this? We got numbers upwards over 10 million to 15 million migrants in America right now, illegally. And the borders was Kamala Harris. News reports have come out already on Newsweek that the migrant caravan heads for the border, hoping to make it before the election. You know why they would like to make it before the election? So that they could vote in the election. That's why. Because they've already sat here and said that these same migrants they're going to find a way for them to vote. They've already been told in Illinois that they can constitutional carry, although they're already considered illegal. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Is this thing on? While we're watching shit play out around the world, we got our own problems playing out in America right now. We got another 3,000 on its way here on top of what's already sitting at the border. Okay? Think about that, guys. The border czar was Kamala Harris. How'd that shit go? They were out here giving them bus tickets, $9,000, $1,500 in food stamps, and we're sitting here talking about Kamala Harris is the border czar with another migrant caravan on its way in time for election. If you don't think that they're trying to pull a coup, I don't know what to tell you. The deep state's hard at work right now while I'm sitting here broadcasting to y'all. We sitting here powwowing while they out here putting in work. The play has already happened. The play is happening as we speak. We can go through all the reports in the world. It all goes back to some shadowy shit going on. So one can only wonder how much can we expect for us, the people, to keep happening to us, because at some point That CrowdStrike incident is going to happen again. I'll say it again. The CrowdStrike incident happened for a reason. Think about this. Assassination attempt, CrowdStrike, which was, which was the group that blew the whistle on the Russian collusion case in 2016. They have a mass outage, software goes down, flights are grounded, payment systems are down, certain network servers go down. Guess who, in the same sentence, in the same breath, Joe Biden steps down in the presidential nomination, and all of a sudden controversy circles around saying that the man has passed away. I don't think the man has passed away. I just think that, they got him hidden right now out of view. It's over. It's like the time Bush Jr. walked out his seat like a year and a half early and just left it up to Cheney. You guys remember that? That happened. That's a real thing. That actually happened. So always remember, it happened once, it could happen again. And if we get our first woman president like Mexico did, I would assume that there's going to be some Israel ties to that. Just like the president in Mexico is a woman, she also just so happens to be, Jewish. And I'm not saying there's speculation behind that. I'm just saying I'm painting a picture for you guys right now as to how the deep state is moving around and how they're thinking. Okay? It's up for you to believe it, not for me. I believe what I think, I research, I see a lot of things going on. Can either confirm or deny. It's for you to believe it, okay? Or take it with a grain of salt and do your own research. Not up to me though, not at all. Now I'm just here giving you the news. But what I'm telling you is there's something going on. Without a doubt, we all agree something's going on. And you could be left, you could be right, you could be independent, you could be green, you could be whatever. I don't care. But your eyes, your ears, your senses are working. You can tell that there's something going on. So let's not act like there isn't something going on and collectively say it. All right? Too much going on. So where's my face? Let me bring my immediate face back. So this whole news report was to show you that they're still moving. There's still things going on, and it's all bread and circus to some extent. If you pay attention and you watch it, you'll catch the clues, you'll catch the habits. But what I'm telling you right now is stop playing with these people. These people are not to be fucked with. They are not pleasant, and they are not playing fair at all. Just always know that. So when we see the grumblings, and it's not over, because I'm gonna tell you now, here's my thought process on today's tabloids, the numbers. I want to show you one more thing, and it's going to lead me to my point. All right. Let me see if I can find it. Boom. This is what Fox News is reporting right now. Let me bring that back. This is what Fox News is reporting right now. Okay. 45 to 46. Which shockingly equals 91. You're on that gematria thing, sure. What I'm saying is this woman has 3 months to run for president. She's already raised upwards shy of $100 million right now. If this woman wins this presidency, this angry orange man over here is gonna pitch a fit, and everyone behind him is gonna pitch a fit. Election fraud, the system's rigged, recount, everything you can think of. America is gonna shit a brick if Kamala Harris wins presidency. There's no other way to put it. She has 3 months to run. In a perfect world, she's already lost, but we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a deep state world. So in a deep state world, they're gonna go for the black women, LGBTQ community with the left, anyone on climate control, anyone on gun control, because this whole gun control is ramped up more with the attempted assassination of Trump. So many A's in there. Couldn't get it out. Sorry. So this is what I'm saying. You're going to get the gun debate on both sides of this spectrum with Trump and Harris. They're going to debate eventually too. It's going to be a farce. It's going to be a spectacle like always. But the biggest thing to watch right now is who Kamala puts as her running mate. Her running mate could be anywhere from Gavin Newsom to Big Mike to Josh Shapiro. All right. They're throwing out a lot of names. They threw out people out of Arizona. Katie Hochul's in there. The dude out of NASA, out of Arizona, the senator, I thought would make sense if you want to put him in office. You know, NASA in Hebrew, it means fake, if I'm not mistaken. So it would make sense. Or they're raising money to put to bring in, and then they're gonna put Hillary in. Or Michelle, Big Mike, aka with Barack as vice president. You're either gonna get the Clintons or you're gonna get the Obamas backing Harris. That's only two people we're waiting on. The Clintons have gave their blessing, excuse me. But the Obamas have not said anything yet, which makes me assume that they're waiting to see how the numbers are gonna pan out. They may do a quick move. It can't be any worse than what they've already done, and Biden walking out of the debate where he's at. I mean, the race where he's at. So right now, Harris has to get someone hot, ready-made, like a Little Caesars pizza. Hot pocket ready. Only person I can think of hot pocket ready that can bring money and following are Clintons and Obamas. If you want to say Gavin Newsom, sure. But we saw what he did to San Francisco for China, so that's the last thing we need right now. We don't need anything from the left because we know where their intentions lie. At least not the immediate left. And you want to give us like someone new? RFK Jr. is a conversation, but he's an oddball because he could be on my show talking with me right now. He says some of the same shit I'm saying. So, you know, none of them want to be aligned with that. So right now, Kennedy Jr. is on his own with no Secret Service detail. So I really don't see him getting a nod from the deep state table. Sorry. Only way I see him getting a nod is if he becomes someone's cabinet member, like Secretary of State or some shit like that. But even then, the Secretary of State does a dirty job. So I don't know. I do know that Kennedy Jr. has touched a wall or two in his lifetime. He has taken a few pictures, and he knows the Soroses, just like, you know, Kamala knows the Soros. All right. And with that said, never be deceived at who's behind the pictures of all of this. Okay, you see a Soros right there? There you go. Soros. Nothing changes. New generation. We're here. Nothing ever changes, guys. Same name, new face, new player. Right? So you already know they've given her the blessing as the Democratic convention, you know, nominee. Soros. Clintons have given it. The Biden crime family's given it. Everyone's, I think Bernie Sanders even gave it, like he still got juice. He's given it. So this should tell you where we're at right now. If everyone's pretty much propping her up, I can safely assume it's going to be a money grab. They're going to either prop her up and something's going to happen and someone else takes over, or they're going to prop her up for money point, like I said, and then remove her and put someone in, and then they're going to go from there. The left is so desperate. I think they can put anyone in office and they think they can win. Their only best choices are Obama and Clinton, easily. It's no one else. Kamala by herself isn't strong enough. Now, she's showing that she is, but that shit's right on time. Look at this bright young Soros face right here pushing that, all right? So don't be deceived. Please don't. Left wing, right wing, same effing bird, people. Okay? Same effing bird. So before we head out of here, we covered the Sonia Massey case as far as the police department's handling of that. We covered new technology in the UK. They do have dues attached to light armor vehicles now. All right. We also discussed the Ray investigation of the FBI, Ray investigation of him and the FBI, and we talked about Cheeto being ousted as Secret Service director. Okay. We also went over the migrants being here just in time to vote, which is pretty much on pace. Like, please don't think those 10, 15 million migrants aren't in the system already. That's why they had to do the broadcasting test to make sure all those 15 million phones were locked and loaded, ready to go. All right. Believe me or not, just letting you know. We already know that they can get firearms, and they are doing so. We already know that they're breaking the squatting laws. They're getting money, food stamps, assistance. They're displacing predominantly Black impoverished neighborhoods for them right now. And they're moving out predominantly white impoverished neighborhoods too. For some people who don't believe that's a thing, it is. They're moving people out. This is what we would call, migrant replacement. Is when you bring a younger group of people in, because the baby boomers are the second largest generation to the millennials. Millennials ain't having this shit right now. So who are you gonna bring in to deal with all of this? Migrants. Always remember, sleeper cells are real. Always remember that Chechen spy was sitting outside an army colonel's house. Always remember, all of these things that come out in the media are real and they're happening. Are they the real truths? Remains to be seen. But they are happening. The deep state is moving, whether we want it to happen or not. Whether we want this to happen or not, deep state's here. So my honest idea, my honest opinion to all of you is to get your homes in order. Get your houses in order. Get your children in order. Get whatever you need to get in order. Get your pantry in order. Make sure you got plenty of food. You got water, because the biggest conversation right now is EMPs cutting the lights out. And at the season finale of where we're at, it's very possible. It's very much so possible. And at the Fahrenheit pitch that we are in America, it ain't looking too hot. It ain't looking hot. Tensions are high. The universities are pumping out their protests and their propaganda. The mainstream media is pumping out their propaganda right now. Stories keep changing every week. All right. They can't get rid of people quick enough. Like, if they wanted to get rid of Trump, they should have hired Boeing. It's apparently Boeing can't miss. So all I'm saying is they can't get rid of officials, leaders, whistleblowers. They can't get rid of them quick enough, people. So whatever's happening, it's crumbling. They're knocking off leaders around the world right now. Slovakia, Iran, I think Argentina just had one. Japan had one a couple years back. Whole lot of assassination attempts the last 4 years. Seems like there's a coup, and it could be the global coup. See, we keep thinking that this deep state is just us. No, it's global. The deep state reaches into all of the countries. All of them. And what's happening right now is that they're aligning and moving and getting things together. This is it. It's already in play. We heard of Agenda 20, you know what I'm saying, or 2021 as we went through the COVID situation. Agenda 21 popped up. Then it became Agenda 25. Then it became the Agenda 30. Now in the media, it's Project 25. It's the Great Reset 2025, 2030. And then it's the Awakening 47 or whatever with Trump. Listen, they are lying. It is the same thing. Same exact thing. It's just that the media had to spin it in a way that didn't make you go look at what possibility could it be if this is really happening and they get eliminated. Because if they originally get eliminated, then there's supposed to be growth and prosperity for the masses. This is why you hear so much from QAnon and MAGA about the quantum financial system. You hear so much about income tax being abolished. You hear about the education system supposed to be getting revamped. In Project 25, it sounds like it's pretty dictator-like. But if you read the other projects, it's the same thing. They're just wording it differently. Whatever complete overhaul is coming, whether it's going to come from BRICS, the quantum financial system, crypto, whatever, it's here. It never went away. They could have got rid of Bitcoin years ago. The deep state, whatever's happening right now with BRICS, Russia, and all the countries boarding up, unloading onto that, it's affecting us. And whatever our deep state mafia is doing in our country, they're part of it also, because BRICS was also founded inside of JP Morgan in 2009. We all think that someone's here to save us, like this is the Bolshevik conflict, and it's not. Ain't no one here to save us. They thought someone was coming to save them too. And I always mention this, and 20 million Orthodox Russian Christians were pretty much murdered. Okay? Operation Trust, go look it up. I ain't gonna pull it up. We've talked about it before. Just go look it up. It's called Operation Trust. All right? And you'll see what happened. They made a fake group that said, stand by. The white hats are here to save you from the communists and the Bolsheviks and all of this shit. And it was them. They lied to them. And when they finally seized control, they massacred them. It's a massacre, people. It won't be the first time it's happened. And right now, America's playing a really weird game. It's always, well, like I've said, get your home in order, have some guidelines in place, and prepare yourself. All right? I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. You'll probably see me later on, depending on how I'm feeling with this whole Biden speech. We're going to see if we miss something. And before I go, I do want to give you one more clue, okay? When presidents write statements, they typically write them on the presidential notebook paper, right? Something funny about what happened this past week. Where's the presidential seal at on this man's letter? Everything that the president has to do has to have a presidential seal. I'm going to leave y'all with that, all right? There's no presidential seal on here. That is typically not how he has been signing his name for the last couple years. This is very questionable. Also as questionable as the phone call that he made, and we know AI can generate voices now. All I'm saying, I'm not saying he's dead. I'm just saying that they're doing a lot of sloppy work right now. So when you guys watch this video and you go back and watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Think about it, break it down. Before I go, I want to say, don't forget to follow the Daily Rabbit Hole on all major platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Rumble, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Locals. I'm everywhere. If you're on my Facebook page, subscriptions are 99 cents. Feel free to subscribe and get specific detail about the Daily Rabbit Hole's events and different information that I'm going to put out via my sources. Okay? All right. Please donate. Also, thank you. Give me some time. I'll get better with my software. I hope the quality wasn't too bad and the sound wasn't too off. Just bear with me. You guys have a great day. I'll probably see you tonight, a little bit later. Just hang out with me, but appreciate you all. You have a good day, and this is the Daily Rabbit Hole.